So before you quit your job, can we talk just a little bit? We're not gonna start it that way. Before you go and take that leap of faith and quit your job to start your business, let's talk a little bit first. So when it comes to starting your own business, there are so many things that are just not talked about. Social media makes it seem like this glamorous thing. You're gonna just be making all this money from the jump, which you may. I can't, it depends on what your business structure is, and what all you do, what all you sell, your products and services, that all depends. But for most, I would say probably about 80 to 90% of entrepreneurs, you do not come straight out the gate making 5 and 6 figure months, let alone 5 and 6 figure years. So the first thing that I do want to discuss, especially with single entrepreneurs versus married entrepreneurs, because there is a huge difference when it comes to the cushion and no cushion. So when it comes to being a single entrepreneur like me, I am divorced, of course, if you didn't know that, but it was so much easier for me to kind of do what I wanted, in a sense, when I had a husband, when we had 2 incomes in the household. There was a sense of stability, there was a security system that a lot of these entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs that I'm seeing are not really talking about. A lot of them have that extra help. When I was married, I had that extra help to where if I wanted to work a job, I had a choice between if I wanted to work, if I wanted to play around with entrepreneurship, I had that security blanket. Now that I am a single woman raising 2 children, I'm not a single mom. I'll never proclaim that because I co-parent very well with my ex-husband. But anywho, it is a very different dynamic from coming from a 2-income household to at this point a no-income household, because my income fluctuates daily, monthly. Yeah, it just moves around a lot. With me being a solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur, I currently have 2 different businesses. One is basically in the growth and expansion, which is the Slime Laboratory. That one is much easier to kind of gain a grips on when it comes to me being a mom, because my children can go with me literally to everything. Every event, every party, I can bring and tag my children along. But for some, depending on your business model, that's just not, you can't do that. If I had a clothing boutique, I can't have my kids in there. Well, I could because it's mine, but you know what I'm saying? You don't want your children to be running around playing. You know, they want lunch, they want breakfast, they get bored. There is just a lot that comes with that. Hold on, sorry, I had to take my lunch out. But anyways, like I was saying, there's a lot that comes with being a single entrepreneur. And I know it looks really spectacular when it comes to social media, and especially with these women that have these successful businesses and all of this fun stuff. But a lot of them are just not mentioning they have husbands, they have help, they have built this financial cushion, which I don't have. When I jumped. I didn't have any savings. I didn't have any safety nets. Then literally, it's like I jumped out of the plane with no parachute. There was just no, like, I do not suggest that for anybody. If you are working a good job, where your bills are being paid, little moment of transparency, yeah, I've been like behind on a lot of my bills and stuff because I didn't have that security blanket. I didn't make sure that I was safe and have 3 to 6 months worth of my bills saved. Like I literally, it's just been rough. It's been very difficult being an entrepreneur and not having that safety net. So I will always profess, have that safety net, especially if you are a single woman. On top of that, if you have children in the midst of it all, do not jump out here and say, I want to be my own boss, because you got to remember, you don't have any more health insurance. That disappears. You have to figure out your own 401k, IRAs, stocks. You literally have to do all of that yourself. You no longer have the security of this big corporation when you go out on your own. You are literally forming your own corporation from the ground up. So that also means that you're gonna have to uproot a lot of things. You're gonna have to lay a new foundation for yourself and your family and build the house literally brick by brick. And that's just something that a lot of entrepreneurs are not talking about. I don't know what's going on with my camera. It is acting up. But like I was saying, when it comes to you having a significant other, that is a completely different experience from somebody that is single like I am, that's doing it all with little to no help. It is definitely a game changer. A lot of entrepreneurs that you see that are successful, not saying that there are plenty of single women and men that have done it alone and have been very, very successful. But the topic was more of how a lot of them that I see that are on social media, they don't talk about how they have this kind of extra space to kind of move how they want to move when they have a significant other. And that's kind of what I wanted to address. The struggles and ups and downs of running a company or companies with no help. It is so much more difficult because it's almost like you don't have a support system. I'll take that back. You may or may not have a support system. I'm not sure about everybody else's situation, but to speak for mine, I have a support system to an extent. There are still things that I struggle with that I like to kind of keep to myself. In a sense, I don't really like to talk about certain things. And sometimes it is my pride. When things get really hard, sometimes my pride is just like, no, I'm not talking to nobody about it. I'm just gonna get through it. Which is not always the best, but it is what it is. Back to business. So when it comes to running a business solopreneur, single entrepreneur, that fun stuff, make sure you have all of your ducks in a row. That is vital. That is like the bloodline to your business, because you don't want to, what I'm guilty of having done in the past was mix a lot of personal finances with business finances. And that can muddy the waters a lot, especially when it comes to filing taxes, when it comes to when your business actually expands and you get an accountant to look over everything. You just kind of don't want to do that from the jump. And you don't want to muddy the waters at all. So one thing for sure is make sure that you have at least 3 months worth of all of your bills combined. Include leisure in that, include every single dime of everything that you spend your money on. Make sure that you have at least 3 times that amount in savings before you decide to take the leap. Another thing when it comes to business and moving forward with your business ventures, you want to make sure you've done your market research on these ventures as well, because yes, it can be very lucrative, and I understand like one person can't serve everybody, but you don't want to go into a market that's so heavily saturated, especially in your area. Yeah, everybody, Sally and Sue may sell eyelashes, but in your area, there may not be as many people doing eyelash extensions or selling like the lash packs or whatnot. But then again, in your area, there may be 20 or 30 people that's selling lashes and doing lash extensions. And yes, everybody has a schedule and all that fun stuff. Like I said, everybody can't serve everybody. But you want to make sure if you're going into a saturated market, such as lashes, such as nail techs, a t-shirt business, restaurant industry that's highly competitive, you want to make sure that you have something that's going to stand out. And if honestly, if your business is not making what you make times like 2, I would say maybe even 3, then you may want to hold your horses a little bit when it comes to leaving your job, because if your business is not at a place where it could pay you, the struggle is definitely going to be real. I'm in that situation where my business, it can pay for all its stuff on its own, but I'm not at the point where I can pay myself, which means I also have to have something on the side to basically be a gap filler. And that is, if you don't have the grit and you don't have the drive or the patience and the endurance to deal with a lot of wheels turning at the same time, then you may want to be very careful, because some people you can get easily overwhelmed when it comes to just all of this, because it's a lot. So I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about that, before jumping off the ship and trying to swim on your own. Make sure you just have all your ducks in a row, because social media, podcasts, all this stuff, they're not showing you the full picture. They're just kind of showing you the picture of what it is now, how they're living now, but nobody's really diving into the harsh realities of being an entrepreneur. So we'll continue this talk, or we'll have other discussions about entrepreneurship. And if you have any questions or concerns, don't forget to comment them down below, and I will definitely respond back. And go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you'll know when I am uploading. And I will see you guys in our next talk. Peace.